Hey everybody, it's Marco Rodriguez here, and I'm joined by my good friend Tony. Tony's with Arkshire Financial, so I'll let him introduce himself to everyone.
Hello everyone. Once again, my name is Tony. I work at the firm that Marco mentioned, and I focus on tax-free retirement strategies.
Right, so right now, the reason why I have Tony on board with me today is because right now we're in the spirit of giving Christmas. We've got New Year's right around the corner. But I think it's very important for us to start thinking about our goals, our financial goals for 2018. So I've got a couple questions here from my good friend Tony. Question number one, if someone is not content with their current financial situation today, what are some of the tips that you can give these people to start planning for their future?
So the first thing that people should do is really run their numbers to really know if they're on track to be able to do things like retire, for example. And maybe how much money they need by the time they retire. Are they saving enough? About 50% of the population, they don't really know where they're at all. So just sitting down with someone to go over that is really, really important. So just one tip on that note is that you want to kind of calculate how much money you need when you retire. So what you do is you take your monthly expenses, multiply that number by 12, and then also by 25. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you are at $1,500 in expenses per month. If you times that by 12 months in a year, and then by 25 years, that comes out to $450,000.
Wow.
So that's how much money you would need to retire if you retired at 65 and lived till about 90. So it's really important to know those numbers to see, how far you are behind that number if you were at $1,500 per month.
Okay, good. That's some good tips right there, Tony. Appreciate it. And let's just say someone is in a situation where they want to plan for the future, but they don't know how much money they would need, or they probably feel that they don't have enough money. What would you tell these folks?
That's actually a good question, Marco. When I first got involved in this industry, I thought, hey, if you have 50,000 or 100,000 in the bank, you're actually in pretty good shape when it comes to investing your money. But what I found out kind of the hard way, because I had to turn away some clients that really didn't have anywhere close to that, was that the larger companies that give the big returns, you really need to have at least $500,000 to play with. And if you don't have that, you're kind of out of the game when it comes to double-digit returns. Now, there are some companies like our company, the one that I work with, where we focus on middle America. And if you have less than 500,000, let's say you have 50,000 or a couple 100,000, you can actually do something with that money and get a great return. Also, if let's say you can only do a couple $100 a month, or let's say $200 to $300 a month, you can actually do something. So I'll give you an example. There was a gentleman I sat down with who was 22 years old. After running his numbers, he was able to put $200 per month away in savings. And what we found is that running the calculation, by the time he turned 65, he would actually have, based on the product that we work with, to have about $500,000 saved up for his retirement.
Wow.
On top of that, he can actually create what is called a private pension and start pulling money from that $500,000, which equates to about $55,000 per year for 25 years. Now, the same person, if they were 10 years older, let's say 32, they would actually need about $500 a month to get that same result. So you can kind of see the difference. So it's not really, necessarily how much you have to put away per month. What's actually more important for most people is how soon you start. And the sooner the better, because obviously as you age and there's something called compound interest, it will limit the amount of compound interest you get if you start later.
That's great. That's great information. And I totally agree. The sooner that we can start planning for our future, the better it is. And actually the easier it is, because you don't have to fork out as much money in that, just like that example that you just gave us right now. And something that surprised me as well is they did a survey where they said that 62% of all Americans don't even have $1,000 in the bank right now, and 21% don't even have a savings account. So I think that as people here, especially living in the United States, we need to plan for our future. We don't know all the things that are going on right now, and 401ks and retirement, all those things are up in the air right now. So we have to do our duty and plan for our future. So that's why I wanted to say thank you so much, Tony, for joining us today. And if someone likes this, they want to start planning for the future, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, actually, especially because you're a friend of Marco, I'm happy to share my cell phone number with you directly. That number is 415-496-5484. And if you're better at, doing an email, you can just text me at that number and I will send you my email in the reply. And you're more than welcome to ask me any questions. As I've mentioned before, in doing business is that, we are not here to try to push people to make a decision right away or do anything that they're not willing to do. We just want to share knowledge and information and let them make the decision when the timing is right. But most importantly, at least know what they're walking into if they are out there searching for things, so they don't get in situations like a lot of people where they're in the dark and they start getting hit with all these random fees and costs that they were not prepared for, which could add to a lot of money. So with that, that is the best way to reach me, and I'm happy to help anyone I can.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much, Tony. Tony, known him for a long time. What I love about his style is there's no pressure. He simply educates, gives you the knowledge, and you make the decision for yourself. So with that being said, from us here at Genesis and the MVRod team, we wanted to wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. God bless everybody.